Glorious greetings and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys right now with a live 1 vs 1 battle featuring spawning in the south. It's going to be the overcommand pieces of none other than Jesulin. And spawning in the north using possibly the worst screen name I've ever seen chosen. It's going to be the United Kingdom forces of a cunt. That is a slightly controversial choice of username, I'm not going to lie to you. But, you know, whatever, this game is full of people getting explodinated by violence, and I think if anyone's going to get offended by this username, well, that is indeed just your choice, and I don't care. So, we've got a Bren carrier actually coming out super early here. That's going to be a really nice counter to this Kuba gun. There we go, doing some reasonable damage into the German scout car here. That German scout car actually feeling pretty ballsy, just going to take these Tommies the hell straight on. The Storm Pioneers here in support actually going to be more than enough, and these Tommies are going to have the GTFO. That's probably going to mean that this Bren carrier, whoa, the Storm Pioneers able to get up on top of it a little bit. These guys actually do serious damage to, to Bren carriers, that is, if they can get near them, so he's going to have to back that one up. This Kugelwagen now probably just taking a touch too much damage there, so Jesulin probably going to fall that one back. Yes, I know, Jesulin is the Spanish Stallion, and I do know that his name should be pronounced Jesulin or Jesulin or something, but I just like Jesulin. It just rolls off the tongue nicely. I'm sorry, I'm going to stick to my guns on that one. Neither players are locked in a commander at this early stage. Oh, you know what, I should probably mention the map, which is, of course, Langreskaya. I'm sure you guys all recognised it by now, but for those of you new to the channel or new to the game, yes, this is Langreskaya, one of the smaller but more well-known maps in the game, characterised by extended brawls that tend to go on for quite a long time. Now, off the back of that nice early fight and falling those Tommies back, actually, Jesulin here is actually taking a decent amount of map control. If you look at the mini-map here, predominantly turning red, and Jesulin actually kind of behind on the fuel income because this fuel point has just been taken by the British player, but it will be matched very shortly by Jesulin's own fuel point, and then he will be ahead on fuel as well as munitions, which he's got the double muni at the moment, so that's really nice actually. He's probably gonna, yeah, he's just gonna dart these Storm Pioneers into this building. Whoa, a flash fallback here from both of these Tommy squads. Not convinced that was necessary. This squad for sure, but maybe this squad could have soft retreated. As it is, they're gonna have to spend quite a lot of time falling back to the space and then coming back. I mean, that was probably the right choice here from Cunt, but I don't know. Anyway. Over here on the left, we've got a squad of Volksgrenadiers going to start laying into these Tommies, and apparently Cunt doesn't feel confident taking this fight either. He's just going to soft back up here, and that's going to enable these Volksgrenadiers to continue expanding the great nation of Germany by taking that point. Let's see now. No Vermac Schlepper just yet for Jesulin, so he's actually gone up to 5 units before getting that one out, which some people choose to go for the really early Schwerer Max Schlepper and then establish the Battle Gripper HQ kind of really early somewhere on the map. These Volksgrenadiers are actually getting cut down to size by all these Tommies. There we go, yeah, they're going to need to fall back. We've got a Vickers gun as well. Just coming onto the field now. Whoa, this Bren carrier just exposing itself to a lot of fire from these Storm Pioneers. He needs to be careful about that. And also, actually, this Vickers gun going to deploy here with the idea of shooting these Storm Pioneers. Bit of a suspect position here. I mean, they are in negative cover. I would much rather have just seen them come up to this fence or something. But, you know, it's a small point, and I doubt whether it'll have any bearing on the game as we move forwards here. Mixed fighting going on here in the middle of the map. Still no Vermac Schlepper. Jesulin, what are you on about? So Jesulin's actually locked in his commander now. He's gone for the Luftwaffe Ground Forces doctrine. Definitely still, I think, even now, the most common, the most popular of the overcommand commanders. And it's very simple. It's because it gives you a machine gun team, which, like, I mean, this is an interesting point in the game. I think machine gun teams are a core unit in the game, and I think every faction should just have one in their default tech tree. The reason for this is because suppression is a core game mechanic, and without early access to an MG team, it just basically means that the overcommand faction just don't get to use one of the most fun features of the game. I mean, yeah, I know they've got the flak half track and, you know, a couple of other sources of suppression, but they really don't cut the mustard, and you basically never see them. So I do think it's a shame that one of the factions in the game, in fact 50% of the Axis factions, don't have access to a core game mechanic. But that's undoubtedly a discussion for another time, because we've got a lot of action going on here. This Kugelwagen actually getting caught the hell out by a lot of Tommies and the Bren carrier. The engine goes, and you've got to think the Kugel will too. Yep, there it goes. Volks Grenadiers are here, and an MG34 in a nice position, going to catch these Tommies in its arc. These Volks Grenadiers getting terribly brave here, though. They're getting picked apart by the Bren, by the Tommies. Opportunity for a squad wipe, possibly, but that guy should be able to fall back, and he will. But Jesulin's forces here actually shattered, and a triple fallback going to have to come down. This MG34 is probably also going to have to GTFO because it can't hold up against this volume of Tommies, and indeed the Bren here. So he's going to have to fall that back. This Bren has actually been okay so far. Half a star of veterancy, only 1 kill so far, but it hasn't been terrible, despite exposing itself to a lot of unnecessary damage here and there. So I don't mind the choice of the Bren here from Cunt here, who's also, by the way, locked in his commander. He's actually gone, yay! We're not going to see artillery support this game. Woohoo! I mean, artillery support, yeah, they're addressing it in the patch coming up, because it's a little bit too strong right now, that ability. You know, it's just nice to see another commander busted out, basically. So we've got the Royal Engineer Regiment here, so going to have access to that Churchill Ava, the incendiary mortars, which are actually relevant on this map, actually. They might get used because you can target buildings with them. Pardon me, the vehicle repairs, the command vehicle, which we know to be good, and of course the hold fast for emplacements, so we'll have to see if Cunt's going to make use of any of that. Jesulin, are you still not... Okay, sorry, Jesulin has constructed a truck. He has gone for the battle group at HQ. That's going to be in base, enabling him to access the heals when he falls back. So an interesting position here for both players. Jesulin's army looking pretty small after he lost that Kuba wagon, to be honest. And the forces of Cunt here looking really nicely well-rounded. He does, of course, have his platoon command post online. We've got a 6-pounder on the field. Royal Engineers with a sweeper are here. And he's beginning to upgrade his Tommies, who have actually reasonable veterancy as well, actually. So, yeah. In fact, Vickers in this building is also really spicy. That's, of course, pretty much the dream house if you spawn in North. Dream house being the phrase that I used to refer to just like really good buildings to get your MGs in. So, Cunt here doing a really good job to take that building. What I really want to do actually is just bring up the player stats here. Yeah, it is true. Look, Jesulin, 6 kills for 16 losses, 18, or as near as makes no difference, 1900 damage dealt. Now compare that to Cunt here, who's got like nearly 2700 damage dealt, 16 kills for 6 losses. It's fair to say, Cunt's actually had the better end of all of the exchange. Well, not all of the exchanges, but he's had the better end of the fighting so far. And he's going to be using that advantage right now to pressure mid. The Bren carrier forced to be scarce. We do have a Shrek on 2 of these squads of Volks now, actually, so that's double Shrek Volk on the field. And an ISG field gun is going to be the weapon of choice here for Jesulin. Interesting stuff. This is quite an early ISG. I do like it. Mine's here going to be placed for Cunt. But yeah, I really, really do like this ISG. It's I myself play more Overcommand than I play Vermax. It's like 75-25 when I play Axis, and I myself do favour going for the early ISG. If you can start that vetting up nice and early, it will pay dividends as the game goes on. It's one of those units that's very slow to pay for itself, so you want to get it out as early as you safely can. And I think Jesulin's identified that time pretty well here. Now, does he have the combat support package? He does, and the Minesweeper is out, so he's going to see the mines. Fantastic stuff for Jesulin here. Looks like he's actually going to go for that defuse now. Here comes the first shells from the ISG raining in. The ISG is, well, slightly more potent, I would say, against United Kingdom forces, simply because their units are worth more. If a shell lands in the middle of a squad of Tommies and kills 2 of them, it's worth a lot more than a shell landing in the squad of, I don't know, like Soviet engineers or conscripts or whatever, and killing 2 of them. So, so this ISG could punish the British player nicely. The other thing is, of course, the ISG has significant amounts of game against mortar pits, so that's another advantage, I think, against United Kingdom forces. So Jesulin here playing this smart. Now, AEC research has been done for a change, and we do see the British scout car coming on out to the field now. That's super standard. I wouldn't say boring quite yet, because I do actually really like AECs, and they're very fun to micro, and they are a skill-intensive unit. It's just that they are also so good, you pretty much only see them. Now, the changes that Relica are proposing, which are probably going to be implemented soon, is that the main cannon is going to be nerfed back to how it was before, so it's not going to be super good, like Stuart levels of good against infantry, but the machine gun is going to be buffed to take up the slack. So the unit's going to be more consistent, do more damage over time, and get less cheesy hits that sort of give squads or give multiple members of squads. So I think Relica, super sensible and well on top of that. I doff my hat unto them in these matters of balance regard, or at least in this matter of balance regard. Anyway, MG34 here going to displace these engineers. That's nice stuff. I wonder if we're going to see another ISG here from Jesulin. I think that would actually be a really sweet choice. A little bit risky perhaps, but really nice. Whoa! Actually, this Schwerpanzer HQ getting caught out whilst deploying here. The AC is going to start stacking damage on, and if these Tommies come forward to this wall and start focusing it down, I think that should be the plan here. Wow, I think Cunt has actually passed up an opportunity to pick this building up. I really think he could have gotten it if he'd have just pushed both squads of Tommies up to this wall here and started hammering with the rate of fire bonus from heavy cover. As it is, the Schwerpanzer HQ is going to deploy. It's going to catch the AC with a Shrek Volt here as well. This AC is in turbo jeopardy right now, and he is going to back it out. So, wow, Cunt playing that AC a little close to the wind, but he's actually going to survive with it. So, that's fortunate, I think, for the British player. And I honestly, I just think if he'd have just pushed both of the squads of Tommies up to the wall, ignored the infantry, and just focused down this building, he would have had that. So, in my opinion, anyway. So, possibly a slight misplay there from Cunt there. Anyway, no upgrade as well on the Universal Carrier. I guess he's probably thinking he's going to designate that as a command vehicle in due course, so doesn't want to waste the munitions buying it a gun. Of course, when you make a vehicle a command vehicle, it kind of significantly nerfs its combat potential, and Obersoldaten going to be the weapon of choice here from Jesulin. Oh, this is really nice, actually, because the Obersoldaten are going to get onto the field before the Tommy upgrades are complete. There's no 5-man squad upgrade. There's no weapon racks for the British player. So this choice of Obersoldaten could be really spicy, and Jesulin does have the munitions as well to purchase them the LMG-34 upgrade that makes them so dangerous. So I do like this. I do like this a lot. This ISG is being awkwardly idle. Are these guys within its minimum? And that noise you can hear, of course, is the infinite recon. That's the infinite recon which the British can call in thanks to this command vehicle. So infinite aircraft can just be called in to recon your foes. So we're going to have constant buzzing and circling of reconnaissance aircraft. A sound which, believe me, as a caster who's cast many hours of constant recon from British forces, I can tell you I absolutely love. Massive eye roll. No, it's not that bad, but still. Anyway, Schumann's in some cunning positions here. This is nice stuff from Jesulin. He's such a savvy player, and it's just really nice to be able to watch a player of his calibre. Like flex his muscles and things. Although, you know, it's worth noting, he's actually definitely behind in this game at 416 under 481, and a lot of fights have so far gone the British player's way. I think if he'd have lost this AC whilst he was trying to take down the Schwerpanzer HQ on the left, I think that Cunt would be behind by now, but, you know, he's actually been really fortunate or skillful, you know, however you want to look at it. It's probably a healthy amount of both, and, you know, hasn't lost that, so... Looks like a determined assault going to be coming through here for Jesulin. The ISG field gun getting some nice looking shots, but actually not doing a lot of damage. A touch unlucky. Actually, having said that, it is up to 1-star veterancy, so I must have missed the decent hits. But yeah, looks like he's going to be breaking through here. He's found the mortar pit, and the Obersoldaten and these Volksgrenadiers actually opting not to take this point, which strikes me as being a touch odd. I mean, the brace, he did just see that the brace was forced, so he knows he can take this reasonably safely for now. So yeah, slightly interesting choice there from good old Jezza. Oh, Jezza, mate, what you doing, mate? You want to capture mid, innit, bruv? Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna move ahead and capture that. Storm Pioneer's doing some work up here in the north, which is nice, and also this LMG-34 actually in a really nice position. The Vickers no longer in the Dream House. That has probably been forced to displace by these by this ISG. So Jesulin is actually able to creep forward, and if he's able to actually install his own MG in this building, that would be really tasty. Yeah, there's a mortar pit already, but you know that will at least force the barrage and enable him to assault without the mortars raining down on his other more exposed units. Of course, a machine gun in a building can take a few hits from mortars just fine. So. That could be something that he's going to think about moving forward. And actually, look at the position here for Cunt. Like, nothing has happened. No fight has been taken. But he's actually being forced back into a smaller and smaller area. You know, actually, I've just realised it's really bizarre to be calling a player who's chosen the name Cunt a he. But anyway, I'm just assuming it's a he. Anyway, wow, the Vickers just gets gunned down. Obersoldaten are pretty good, and they had Volks on the backup here. AC comes across to help, but that turret is, like, woefully traversed right now. AC's, like, literally looking the wrong way, like, oh, what's going on here? Anyway, so yeah, that is going to force the recrew on this, and the ISGs are beginning to do work on this mortar pit. Sorry, the ISG singular is beginning to do work on this mortar pit, but there is a second ISG, which is going to bring it up to a brace thereof for Jesulin. Yeah, this mortar pit probably not super long for this world. I mean, he does have the powers of brace and hold fast, which for those of you who remember on release was just like totes OP. Lol, that was those were the funny days of Brits. That was back in the days when you can have a brace hold fast mortar pit with a Vickers gun like garrisoned in it. That was so sweet. God, I kind of miss those days actually. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway. Volks Grenadiers here biting off rather more than they can chew. That's going to force a fallback. Totally safe, though. No danger of a wipe here from Jesulin. Just probing. Oversoldat in here, actually awkwardly idle in the base. I don't know how long they've been here. Jesulin, these are important. Let's get them active. Rakettenwerfer creeping out onto the left flank as well. Looking like he might want to start chewing up some ground. But look at this. Cunt's going to come down here, and I'm going to start calling her she now. Is going to start trying to capture this fuel point. So that's an interesting development there. Very nice work there. ISG rounds continuing to fall on the mortar pit. No braces available. It's already on cooldown, and that will be a dead mortar pit here. Boom, there we go. It's probably just about efficient though, so not even super bad for Cunt there. These Tommies on the left flank are going to be pursued away. In fact, they didn't even manage to get the decap on the fuel, so a nice defense there for Jesulin. He's going to keep his resources intact. The Rakettenwerfer is scouted by the retreating Tommies, though. In fact, I think it decamoed itself for a second there, actually. So, Cunt's going to know about that, and he's going to be a little more cautious with the movement of his vehicles. Let's just check the tech here for the British player. So he does have the company command post online. Dude, this username is throwing me off so badly. I nearly said the company command post there, but anyway. Yeah, he's gonna have that online. We've got hammer and anvil tech, the options, and of course all of the fantastically efficient British armor. So we're gonna have to see what the figures are. Oh, he put a centaur on for a second, then maybe it was a misclick because he cancelled that so fast. Going to be a Cromwell in the end here, and Jezza, he's coming up to like 170 odd fuel. So I'm guessing this is going to be Panther, right? I mean, it would be turbo greedy and, in my opinion, foolish to go for a King Tiger, and for that, of course, he'd need another truck, which we're not seeing yet. He still has that option. He can go for that, but I have to say I wouldn't be happy to see it. Jagdpanzer on this map is always sweet, and you guys know me, I'm a Jagdy man. Any opportunity to get a good bit of Jagdpanzering on, and I'll be there. I'm always in support of that, but I do think that the Panther looks pretty smart, and he'll be able to actually purchase that in like about 40 seconds here. So yeah, nice Panther. Panther will probably be hitting the field around about the 19 to 20 minute mark if he's able to get that done. And that'll be really sweet. A Panther on this map is an absolute menace, and it will police the AEC, it will police the Cromwell here. The scout plane just getting taken out again, and look! I mean, there's basically no big fights have been taken for the last phase of play, the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes or so. No big fights have been taken. But Jesulin just being so efficient. Look at the map, it's just turning slowly but surely more and more red. He's just harrying the flanks, just kind of, and not actually committing to any major fights, but just kind of pulling his opponent around the map. And making use of the fact that Jesulin does actually now have, like, slightly more capping presence than his foe. So, yeah, just leveraging anything he can, really. And the ISGs are now beginning to work down that, building. Sorry, I thought I just heard some mines go off, so I was just trying to find out where they were. But anyway, the Cromwell's here, and it just takes a dive into the middle of 2 Shrek Volks. This is a little risky. It's a good thing there's no Panther on the field or coming anytime soon, because that would certainly have been a dead Cromwell. Actually, Jesulin just needs the manpower for that Panther now. Yeah, this Cromwell's still continuing to dance with the Volks here. Okay, he's going to fall them back. But going down to like under half health, really risky. Well, he's just going to be driving around. There are shoe mines here and things, you know, he's got to be sort of careful. Is there any minesweepers out? Yeah, there is a minesweeper here. Okay, so he's going to repair this Cromwell. I don't like this facing, by the way, on the Cromwell. Jesulin's actual Rakettenwerfer is in range. He just needs line of sight of this Cromwell. And when I repair my vehicles, if they're going to be repairing in a spot like this, and I don't actually mind repairing in a spot like this, generally it's okay, but you should always turn, you should always just turn it so the front armor is facing, because the thing is, if he wants to move this tank because it gets started on, he's probably going to have to turn it anyway, because the main direction he's going to want to go in is this direction, maybe. I mean, or maybe across here, but this is risky, because if he gets engaged on from this angle, that's not good. So anyway, this tank facing, just a slight cause of concern here, a little bit worried, but it should be fine. It's one of those things which like 8 times out of 10 is fine, and then 2 times out of 10 you feel really stupid. Or at least I do. So yeah, these ISGs are actually getting a lot of value, and he knows there's a 6-pounder here, so the barrages are coming through onto that, and actually Cunt not responding. Okay, finally he does and starts moving that. The Cromwell gets pressured here. The Storm Pioneers coming forward for extra vision. These 2 Rakettenwerfers, look at this overlapping lines of sight. It's really nice. And this is actually a really cool way of holding up this left flank, actually. You put the Schwerpanzer HQ at the back. You can see it on the minimap just here. And then you have 2 Rakettenwerfers pushing with Storm Pioneers in support. That's actually super savvy from Jesulin. There's almost nothing the British forces can send there. No small amount of force, at least, that will easily get through that. The AC just going to reverse on in here. Bro. I mean, I know Panzerschrecks pretty much, it doesn't make any difference if they're hitting the front or the rear, but you still want to at least make a, you know, try to get your tanks or your armor facing the right direction. Anyway, here comes the Cromwell. The two Rakettenwerfers have repositioned though. Bang! They're going to get the ambush shots in here. Biff! One of them actually not penetrating, I think, is missing, so that Cromwell going to escape slightly more lightly than I thought. Oh, and the mortar pit firing from the British base. That is absolutely brutal. Gets the wipe on a Rakettenwerfer. That's really nice. By the way, this mortar pit, haven't showed it on the camera yet, but it is here, just tucked away behind this line of sight blocker. I much prefer this position. On Langreskaya, it's so hard to hold a mortar pit like anywhere out on the map, but by having it here, because Langreskaya is quite small, that mortar pit will still reach this middle VP and it will still be able to contribute incredibly effectively. It's not quite as effective as if it was here, but it still does a lot of good work and it's so much safer. I do prefer the positioning here from Cunt, so that's really nice. These Obersoldaten trading for as much damage as they can. Jesulin's just going to pull them into cover here, but he has to be careful. There are mortars raining in. Line of sight being provided by all these Tommies and of course the infantry recon. Wow, nice ISG hit though coming in that's going to force these Tommies back. Here comes the next wave though of British infantry. And there has been no Panther. Jesulin's up to 286 fuel. So he's either being reactive. I mean, there's been no Schwerervermechschlager either. He's just keeping his options open. I think he wants to see what the British player Cunt here is going to go for, and then he can choose what's the best. Go for a Panther and a Werferman, or is it or a Panther and a Yagdi, or is he going to go for you know, a King Tiger with the mechanized reg, or you know, he's got options available to him here, and he doesn't quite know which is the best line of play. So he's actually doing a really good thing here and just keeping his options open. Smart stuff from Jesulin, but you know what? We've come to expect that from the Spanish Stallion, so I'm not particularly surprised. He's, as I said earlier, he's definitely a player at the top of the game, so got a lot of respect for his decision making. Now, these Volksgrenadiers pushing into a Vickers, yeah, that's never going to work. So they're going to fall back. These two ISGs are actually a little exposed. This Cromwell, if it wanted, could just poke through to just here and start taking some shots. Where are the Rakettenwerfers? Bot one here, bot one here. Okay. So yeah, that Cromwell, if it wanted, could try and poke, but it would be very dangerous with the Rakettenwerfer on each flank. So again, Jesulin's positioning actually here really nice. Splitting the Rakettenwerfers one each side is just nice. Many units at the moment healing and reinforcing for Jesulin, but I'm sure as soon as they're done, it's going to be a little more aggressive here. He's up to like 320 fuel. He's had healthy income this entire game. So so he's going to have his pick of tech moving forwards. I'm just excited to see what he goes for. And also, I mean, check out the scoreline. 466 for Jesulin over the 296 of Cunt here. He has opened up quite the healthy scoreline. And on Langreskaya, that's no mean feat as well. Jagdpanzer is going to be the choice. A really delayed Jagdpanzer. I wonder what's tilted him into picking this Jagdpanzer, because he could have bought this any time over the last 5 minutes or more, and it would have looked pretty good. So I wonder exactly what piece of information has made him think now is the time for the Jagdpanzer. This is one of those times I'd really like to ask the player and see what they say, because he's definitely like, you know, you don't just randomly make a unit. Something has definitely caused him to construct this unit right now, and I wish I knew what it was, because I play Overcommand, as I say, quite a lot, and it would be really interesting, actually, to find that out. But anyway, it is going to be the fearsome Jagdpanzer 4 Tank Hunter coming out here for Jesulin. And this, of course, as I was saying earlier, a really nice map for it. Like, you can imagine if it's parked here, it locks down large swathes of this area of the map. If he parks it here, it locks down large swathes of this area of the map. He's already got good support from mines up on the north area of the map here, so that's actually going to make it really hard for that Jagdpanzer to be flanked by his enemy's tanks, which is like the one thing you don't want to happen with the Jagdpanzer, of course. So here it is, Jagdpanzer moving out onto the field. Beautiful camo there, nicely picked from good old Jezza. And here it comes, and of course, remember the Jagdpanzer, it basically only needs a few hits to get to Veterancy 1, and then the Jagdpanzer is basically a massive dick. Like, it's such an annoying unit, because it can just turn invisible with the optical camo ability here, the cautious movement ability. Not a lot of people know this, but the Nazis were actually very ahead of their time in terms of engineering and know-how and technology, and they were actually able to engineer the first versions of the camouflage system you might have seen on the Predator xenomorph aliens. So this is actually a historically accurate depiction of Axis technology, circa 1994. Sorry, 1944. I'm not sure how I can make this sentence any more sarcastic. Gonna stop now. But yeah, safe to say, I think that the cautious movement ability on the Jagdpanzer is a bit silly. Like, the way it works is a bit silly. It is, for all intents and purposes, optical camouflage, which just shouldn't be a thing in World War II. But anyway, But anyway, maybe it should have like a setup time where the crew like pop out and like throw some camo nets over it or something, and then like if it moves, it reveals itself or something like that. That seems to me like it would be more fun. Actually, who am I kidding? I play over command, and I'll tell you what's more fun. Having it the way it is at the moment, because it's brutal, it's absolutely awesome. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting distracted. Weapon racks research has completed here for cunt. Nice rack. So gonna be having access here to the Bren guns, is she? And that's gonna give cunt a real edge against this entire Axis infantry lineup. These Obersoldaten are not going to be nearly so able to bully around the Tommies anymore. And I would love to see the 5-man squad upgrade. Let's see if that's a thing that's coming. It's not. It could be. Cunt has the resources for it, but I guess saving something else. Wow, actually, there's been a Firefly coming onto the field. Sorry, I missed that. He's got the tank commander and the tulips already in place. So actually, this Jagdpanzer is going to look really foolish in the face of this, because Jagdpanzers basically die to one good tulip hit and like one hit from the Firefly cannon, so they can almost be insta-killed by the Firefly. So Jesulin here is Jesulin. I promised I was going to pronounce his name incorrectly. Anyway, Jesulin's going to have to be really careful about that. ISG's just hooning into this 3-star British infantry. Really nice. Those ISGs now have a total of, okay, only 13 kills, but they've done a lot of damage. I mean, that's the thing about indirect fire, you know, looking at the kills is always a bit misleading, because they just soften up the squads and mean that in a fight, you know, that one lick of LMG from your Obersoldat brings down 2 guys, not 1, because they've been damaged from the ISGs. So, wow, the ISG's also catching this 6-pounder out a little bit. Whoa, the 6-pounder getting destroyed by some accurate rifle fire from these Volks. Pretty unlucky here for cunt. And who's also falling further and further behind in the score stakes. Jesulin just upping the pressure here. He needs to repair this. He desperately needs to repair this Jagdpanzer. This is a concern for me right now. You know, it's not like he doesn't have the Storm Pioneers to do it. This Jagdpanzer also, whoever the gunner was, up too late in the officer's mess last night. He's had way too much schnapps and vodka. Captured vodka, and he's really feeling it today, because he can't seem to land a single round on target. Anyway, here are the engineers. They're at 2-star, so I believe that gives them the repair speed boost. No. Okay, it's 3-star for the repair speed boost. My bad. But they do have the support package, so that repair speed, look at that, is pretty turbo. Jesulin actually just marshalling this game really nicely, and like there hasn't been any single massive fight still. There's just been like constant struggling, constant like small exchanges as another British Infinite Recon plane goes down. And Jesulin just coming out slightly more efficient in all of them. And that again, this is how higher level players always seem to win. They never commit to a massive fight unless they actually have to. You know, they never try and set up a massive play unless it's critical that they do so. And it just hasn't been for Jesulin. So he's just been taking these increasingly efficient fights, just forcing his opponent to take bad engagements with this passive aggression, where he's just pushing forwards, denying more and more ground bit by bit. The Cromwell here is going to have a try for this Jagdpanzer, but that is never going to work. But you do not want to be doing this with a Cromwell. The Jagdpanzer, though, getting surprisingly low. Cautious movement's now available, though. One-star veterancy has been gained, so he can just cloak that, and he will. There it goes. Up, and then he just... When it's cloaked, it moves incredibly slowly, so he turns it off here to get the extra movement speed and fall back away there, which is, you know, a really safe move. But, you know, I would love to see the 5-man Tommy upgrade. I think the British player's at 72 supply. He's got 4 armoured units and needs to buff his infantry right now. Wow, an ISG getting picked off by the AEC there. Oh, which goes down! The AEC goes down to a Rakettenwerfer shot there. So wow, that wasn't really what that AC was 3-star as well. It had been very efficient this game, and Cunt's been able to use that really well this game. So credit where credit's due. And in the end, taking out one of these ISGs, definitely worthy, but still a shame that Cunt was forced to lose to AEC there. And now I really worry for the British player. I mean, look at this army in the top left. It's so small compared to Jesulin's forces, and you know, Jesulin he knows what he's doing. He's not going to sit on his heels. He's not going to misread the situation here. He's fully aware that there's blood in the water, and I imagine he's going to come in for a slightly more decisive attack very shortly here. As I just pause for a sip on my tea. Twining's English breakfast, of course, the tea of choice this morning for your caster Magpie 842. Very tasty stuff. So here comes the Jagdpanzer. It's just creeping forward under that cautious movement. It doesn't have the bonus line of sight. I believe that's 2-star. It gets that. And it's probably going to find that Firefly if it wants it. It has to be careful though, because this Cromwell's already out on its flank. Slightly concerned here for Jesulin. Cromwell coming through is going to find some Volks Grenadiers who are actually losing this fight against the 3-star Tommies with Brens, as you'd expect. Look, we've got the creeping debris bug. Look. Oh, wow. I've seen this before. Stormless was streaming now. Look, all of the debris on the map is just creeping. Whee! What is up with this? It's all become sentient and it's now migrating. It's so funny. We've got a Churchill Ava on the map. Wow, sorry, I did miss the opening barrage from that. But a Churchill Ava on the map. Think of this as a Storm Tiger Light, but with a faster reload. And it can also move and reload. Like, this thing is brutal. The good old dustbin petard mortar on that thing is bloody scary. Cromwell here going to come in for a dive, though, against this Jagdpanzer. This is a big play here from Cunt, who's going to risk her main battle tank here. But does get alongside the Jagdpanzer, which is exactly where she needs to be. Her Kettenwerfer is here in support, but it's not going to be enough. And I think this Cromwell, no, gets a bounce at the last second. The front armor from the Jagdpanzer is strong enough, just about. And is the attack round going to be enough to seal the deal? It's not. Why is the Cromwell staying around? He needs to get this out. Cunt, what are you doing? Go! Go! Oh my god, how did that Cromwell get out of there alive? I've no idea. I also think the Jagdpanzer was lucky to survive. Wow. Epic plays being made here by Cunt, who knows she needs to do something to get back into this game. Petard Mortar coming back out, though, forces the fallback here. And this game just started getting heated. Wow, I cannot believe. I actually can't believe that... oh, there's a Bren here on the middle point. I can't believe that Cromwell got out of there alive. I just actually can't believe it. Oh, the Petard is going to take a shot here. Finds the Kettenwerfer nicely. And this is the danger of having the Churchill Ava on the field. Like, it doesn't matter if you're behind when you can one-shot your opponent's squads. If you just consistently do that, you're going to get rid of all their veterancy. You're going to tax their resources so intensely. Like, this right now is a sweet unit to have on the field, and I'm excited to see what Cunt can make happen with it. Now, Cunt is down at 187 under 466, so she doesn't have much time. She needs to do something with it soon. And I don't like the way she still hasn't got the 5-man Tommy upgrade. She's going to need those 5-man Tommies to try and make plays in the mid. Whoa, these Volk's going to grab the Bren there as well. That is insult to injury. And now the Jagdpanzer is 2-star. Remember, that gives it the increased sighting. So now in its frontal arc, it can see almost, I think it can see slightly further than its maximum range, which is like intimidating AF. So, yeah. This Jagdpanzer is no slouch now. But all it's going to take here is one good fight, and Jesulin's basically out of this. Like, if Cunt manages to take a supreme fight, knock out the Axis armor, Jesulin basically loses this. And look, I mean, like, Cunt has all the tools she needs. 3-star Cromwell, the Churchill Ava, the Firefly, you know. There's only a Jagdpanzer. This is so bizarre from Jesulin, who's still on, like, 400 fuel, like... I mean, he has the Tiger in his back pocket, another Petard Mortar here, not getting a squad wipe, but unlucky, but doing some good damage anyway. Bang! Firefly chalks one back against the Jagdpanzer there. GTFO, bro. This turf belongs to the Brits. And, jeez, Jesulin, like, actually kind of on the back foot here. This Ava, actually, is providing the momentum that Cunt needs to start making changes to the way this game's been flowing. And believe me, that she really does need to do. So actually getting out of from under the clock here, being able to stabilize the score situation here is absolutely crucial. The Petard Mortar is reloaded, and there's a lot of Volks here just kind of, whoa, here comes the Ava, thinking about it. I don't know if we're going to see it. Yeah, the turret starts swiveling, and that's the warning sign. But it's going to fall back. Just scaring those Volks away. Wow, scared them away. And how... That's the thing, you see. It's like with a Storm Tiger. A lot of the value in the Ava is not when it fires and the things it kills. It's the fear value. Your opponent has to respect it and fall back the infantry. It's like with the Storm Tiger. You move that thing in and your opponent's got some infantry in the hood. And you twitch the barrel by just aiming it. And then they just have to fall back. If they don't fall back, you'll complete the shot and kill them all. And if they fall back, you cancel the shot and you've gotten a lot of value by forcing their squads back. So... yeah, this Jagdpanzer, though, is a super tactical choice, right? Now it's 2-star, it's coming up for 3, and the more that this thing vets up, like, he's just getting veterancy with these hits, the Jagdpanzer actually just transforms. The more it vets up, the scarier it gets. Like, it already has improved rate of fire, sorry, it already has improved line of sight, and the armored skirts, which make it more durable. Then at 3-star, it gets rate of fire and mobility. Then it's a monster, because it's hard to chase, and it's throwing so much damage onto your armored units as you try to pursue it. You know, it's a real dangerous unit. So, yeah. And bear in mind, it already has the improved accuracy as well, I believe. No, okay, sorry, just sighting, my bad. So Jesulin is able to retake mid. This puts Cunt back under the clock, and she's got to do something, and do it soon. She's just still bleeding tickets here. Whoa, this Ava is just reversing in. What the hell? Cunt, you've played a good game here, but I have to, an honest criticism has to be your armor management has been look, why are you going rear first? This is so bad. Now the turret has to spend ages turning. This is actually a really big deal, and the Jagdpanzer is just going to get penetrating hit after penetrating hit. Oh, this is terrible. For the love of God, that's not the front of this tank, sir. I mean, miss. I mean, you know, whatever. There we go, gonna turn it. Jeez, that's just such a glaring error for such a high-skilled game. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Clearly just a lot going on. The multitasking here being taxed for both players. Just a small mistake there from Cunt, but one of those infuriating ones to watch. Anyway, whoa, more Brens getting swiped by these Volks Grenadiers, actually. And you know what, actually, I missed this, but the Tommy squads have been whittled down to just one. So actually that's a real problem for Cunt, who's just kind of ambling around in mid without much of a purpose right now. I'm not sure what's going on here with Cunt. Needs to pick herself up and pick a plan and stick to it. Jagdpanzer finds another hit, and now it's 3-star vet. The Tulips do not come through. The Firefly taking a really ambitious shot there. And we do, by the way, have a Stukas of Boost on the field, and that may be the nail in the coffin here. Because Jesulin was already trading effectively, and now the pressure is really on Cunt to make a move. Gonna come out here with the Werferman shots. Finds a Vickers gun straight away. Brutal barrage there, actually, just crushing that squad straight away. The Firefly now in jeopardy. The Jagdpanzer could decide to push, but it's not going to. Whoa, Cromwell just coming in for a dive down here on the flank. This is a little awkward. Whoa. That's so brave, because there were no mines here, but if there were, that would have been a dead Cromwell. So, like, I think Cunt, it's safe to say, pretty flustered now. Making a few subpar plays. Again, look, the armor on this thing's just facing the wrong way. I mean, you can use reverse move, bro. Anyway. 4-star Oversoul Dart, and remember, they do have suppression. I think it's a 4-star. Yeah. 4-star Oversoul Dart and do have suppression. Now, remember, actually at the moment, one thing I haven't mentioned ever on my channel is that at the moment there is an infantry veterancy glitch in the game, so I don't know if these guys will actually be suppressing or not. Suffice to say, that glitch needs fixing soon. Yeah, this Jagdpanzer has paid dividends for Jesulin, and it's just locking down the map. Combined with the Werferman, all he needs to do is sit back like this, and he'll take it. He'll take it. It is totally on Cunt here to make something happen, and she is having a really hard time right now. Here comes the Ava again. Taking aim. Oh, he's going to commit to the shot. But Jesulin actually able to punch through with the Volks. Slick movement there. So these Volks are actually making a move here. There's a very wounded Cromwell up here. The Jagdpanzer is going to push out again. And these Volks are a real issue, actually. They're coming in like a wrecking ball. And they're going to get good hits on the Firefly. The Jagdpanzer is getting very brave, but it can now with the combination of camo. Oh, it goes up to 4 stars. 4-star Jagdpanzer. Improved rate of fire and accuracy again. That thing just can chip away at your armor so frequently, so quickly. Bang! Look at this rate of fire. He says, bang! There we go. Just like no prisoners taken. Just penetration every hit. And wow, this is looking really, really bad right now for Cunt, actually. Like, Jesulin just being so efficient. Oh, but the Tulips come through. They find the Jagdpanzer, but it's so tough now. It can just weather the hits. The armoured skirt's providing all the difference there, and that Jagdpanzer's going to be chilling. Pardon me as I take a sip. That Jagdpanzer's going to be chilling and continue killing this British armour. Wow, what a tough situation here for Cunt. Who I can't believe I've been able to cast with that name with a straight face this entire game. Brutal barrage, slaying the Tommies. Wow, Jesulin getting the money barrages off of this Werferman here. Wow. God damn. I mean, it's so funny to watch because I feel like look at all this debris. By the way, it's all still just doing the debris creep. It's so strange. But yeah, it's so bizarre to see like this game because I really feel like Cunt got off to a fantastic start. Oh, the double squad wipe though with the petard mortar onto the 2 Raket weapons. That was a money hit. More like that and Cunt will be right back in this, but that's not enough for now. But more like, what the? Go for another Cromwell? Okay. Have we got hammer or anvil tech? No. Okay. So going up to 3 Cromwells, I think that'll be. Yeah, 3 Cromwells. 3 Cromwells with an Ava, a Firefly, a Bren command vehicle. Where's your infantry going to be at though? Like, 3 squads of Royal Engineers does not a savvy fighting force make. Look at all these... Da-da-da-dun. What is with all this? Look, this guy's actually breakdancing. Can't touch this. Okay, he's not really breakdancing. He's like break slithering. Is that a thing? It is now. Yeah, so, okay, right. So we're going to see the vehicle crew repairs. Look at the amount of smoke that's dropped. There are so many vehicles that needed repairing there, so... Loads of smoke being dropped. Here comes the Jagdpanzer though. Here come the Volks. They've got Brens. They've got Shreks. Look at this rear armor, still facing still facing to the south. Oh, just don't do that. Okay, so here come the Cromwells. The Jagdpanzer is so fast though now. It's just going to scoot out of there, and it's got the range, power, rate of fire, and penetration to just punish any kind of a move like this from cunt, as long as Jesulin plays it smartly. So. I don't know, and you know you've got these Vet 4 Obers who, like, this is a mobile MG platform now. Like, these guys suppress. Like, this is horrible for the British infantry. So, well, I mean, it's not like there really even is any British infantry though. So, but you know, if they ever find the engineers, they're going to get chased down a little bit here. Kettenwerfer in a nice position. Jagdpanzer are just going to keep chipping in damage. So these tanks have got to make themselves scarce. Here comes the Firefly. There is enough munitions right now for the Tulips. Whoa, he's going to come in for a dive on the Jagdpanzer. I don't know about this. I think this is... Oh, a main gun destroyed on the 3-star Cromwell so early. Oh. Oh, that's a bit unlucky there for cunt, I think. And here comes the Ava. What's he going to find? This Jagdpanzer's going to have one of these Cromwells for breakfast. That's what's going to happen here. Boom, there it goes. And now the Ava here hung out to dry, but the Firefly actually getting some nice hits in, supporting from the rear here. This Ava doesn't know what it's doing. It's like, keeps changing its target. Here comes another Cromwell, the Firefly punching through as well. So decisive place from cunt here, and this is what I was on about. This is what she needed to do, but now the Shreks are here. And this gets a lot harder. There's the Petard Mortar. Boom, wipes out a squad of Volks actually. Whoa, massive crush as well coming down. Oh, but the main gun gets destroyed on this Cromwell as well. Oh, but the 4-star Jagdpanzer taken out by the epic shot from the Firefly, and now the King Tiger must be called in. Which is still pretty sweet. This will definitely complete the defense, but... you know, at least cunt has basically expended Jesulin's extra life, if you like, so forcing the King Tiger. And this unit, I don't like this nearly as much as the Jagdpanzer. It doesn't have the range, doesn't have the rate of fire, doesn't have the accuracy, it doesn't have the optical camouflage, and there's not a lot of infantry on the field. Not really, no anti-tank guns or anything, so the advantages of the King Tiger heavily ameliorated here by the composition from cunt. Almost accidentally, I feel, because I don't even think this is a great position. But yeah, anyway. So KT's going to be rolling on out here. Jesulin's going to look to make some plays happen. He knows the British armour is here repairing, so he can set up whatever he wants to set up here. Looks like he's going to set up a lot of caution and try and pull back a bit. This Firefly. Oh! Oh! Finds the KT with the Tulips. Nice! An attack round if it should have accompanied that. That would have been really sweet, actually. But Jesulin's going for the triple cap, even in spite of all this. Wertherman firing again. I don't know where this is going. Probably onto the mortar pit, yeah. Takes out the mortar pit handily. Petard mortar. Oh! Oh, and the burst of machine gun finishes the kill on those Volks. Whoa, look at Jesulin's army. It's getting turbo depleted here. Like, he's probably still going to win, but this has gotten a lot closer than I ever thought it would, actually. Oversoldat are finally getting some use out of that suppression ability, because there are actual, genuine, real-life Tommies on the field. First time in quite a while. 3 engineer squads, you're just going to queue them up? Oh, don't know about that. I mean, you could have picked like a 6-pounder, would have actually kind of been okay. 3 Royal Engineers, I don't know about that, but I guess capping power is what's needed. So Cunt's going to take a dive onto this mid-VP. Needs to decluster these units though. The King Tiger will happily take advantage of clustering like this. The Werferman, I think that was the Werferman. Oh no, it was the Petard Mortar. That was a bit of a miss. And the Firefly going to show down against the King Tiger. Yeah, Cunt's going to have seen enough and choose this moment to leave the game. Wow, what a battle, though. Taking the fight to 43 minutes. I mean, the end scoreline doesn't look that impressive for Cunt here. 466 for Jesulin, 24 for Cunt. But still, I think that Cunt actually played this really well. And you remember at the start of the game when I pulled up the stats, actually, Cunt actually managed the early game better than Jesulin. Yeah, a really interesting game. I think not going for the 5-man upgrade on the Tommy squads was a really big deal, because there was a moment, there was a long stretch of play in this game where there were a lot of Royal Engineers and there were 3 squads of Tommies with double brands, 3-star vet, and but only 4 men. And I think with 5 men, you can bully your way forwards. You can take middle VP. You can pressure down the left, grab the fuel point. You can, you can make some more plays happen. And I also think like the Ava and the Firefly could have been used to pressure down this Ferropanzer HQ, and that would have opened up this left flank a bit better. So I don't know, just I think just a couple of small decision-making errors here from cunt. Also, I think cunt feeling a tad flustered at some point because approaching the middle of the map with the back armor on a couple of tanks at a couple of crucial moments in that game. I mean, ultimately not particularly punished for it, but it's just like it's never the kind of thing that you want to do, and it does usually indicate that the player is feeling a little flustered. But yeah, Jesulin in this game just looking safe and sound, just taking strong fights, keeping the King Tiger in his back pocket as a last life, using the power of the Jagdpanzer to just absolutely... I mean, that was one Jagdpanzer with some squad support from 2 Raketenwerfers and a couple of Schreckvolks against like 3 Cromwells, a Firefly, an Ava. There was an AEC in the mix for a while. Like, that's the power of the Jagdpanzer. Honestly, that is the power of the Jagdpanzer right there. Okay, holding off against that amount of British armor, like, you normally would think you would need more than 1 armored vehicle to do that, but no, not in this case. And Jesulin showing exactly why. So yeah, a fantastic game from both of these players. Very much a privilege to cast. That was really good fun. Glad I was able to catch this one from the live games lobby. Now, I will be posting some updates on Twitter and indeed on the YouTube channel in the form of like the little text updates that I post, and I might mention in any further videos this week what the plans are for the casting this weekend. But I believe the plans for the casting this weekend might be there are none, because I'm actually away for a friend's stag do this weekend, so it's very unlikely I'll be in any fit state to be casting on Sunday. But we'll see, if I can I will, and let's face it, I do love doing this, so yeah, if I can I definitely will. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and of course yeah, you can have a look at the Twitter at MagpieCaster if you want more updates. And this, for now, will be Magpie842 signing out.